Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Sandifer. I am here to contribute to the creature workshops for Ryan, and I'm very excited about the task. A little bit about myself. I am in Dallas, Texas. I co-own Greengrass Studios. We do visual effects work for film and games and commercials and all kinds of stuff like that. We're a little boutique studio of perhaps 15 people, and very soon we'll be launching a new company called Chickwalker, where it'll be just 100% focused on creating characters and art needs for the film and game communities, amongst others is like toys and just doing statues and cool stuff like that. So brand new thing coming up very soon. I've been in the industry for over 11 years, and I started out in architecture and worked my way through the industry to work in characters, and that's been my focus for the last 7-8 years or so. So here I am, getting ready to do a little instruction on doing some creatures, and the kind of stuff I like to create is kind of not necessarily in any sort of genre. I would kind of call it something more imaginative, things that kind of came out of my brain rather than typical stuff. I mean, if you like doing typical stuff, that's cool with me. And we've all do those kinds of things still, but whenever I'm asked to do something just kind of off topic, I just kind of like to make up my own stuff. I've been inspired by a few of the newer artists of the latest generation of concept artists and creature artists in the industry, and sort of mainstream of Neville Page and Feng Zhu and Ryan Church. A lot of the ones that have been just really heavily involved in some really big movies in the last and games in the last decade or so. So onward we go with the creature. You can see the guy here in front of you. I thought it's a little bit scribbly. That's because I use a special bit of software or an online scribbling program to kind of come up with some doodles sometimes. I'm not the best at hand drawing, and so it's not bad. It's just like I'm more of a 3D guy, so this little scribbling program, which I'll show you in a second real briefly, is a real handy tool that I use for just blocking out some thumbs. And this is basically just, I think of the kind of character I'm looking for. In this case, I thought I'd do something a little bit more out of kind of typical stuff for me. Motion-wise, it's kind of easy to do the ragey characters, the angry, screamy, mean-looking things, which this guy may end up looking kind of mean, but I'm kind of going for more sullen, more emotive kind of a creature here. So what you're actually seeing here, I don't know if you can kind of read between the lines, but if you look at the head shape here, this is basically the head, eye, and his back kind of trails back here. Here's his neck, chest, his deltoid bicep kind of formations. So you can kind of break it down from there. You can kind of see what I'm doing, and then this is just kind of a doodle for his hand. Here's his fingers kind of draping down. So nothing too mind-boggling. I just like some of the shapes and some of the organic nature of him. I have a tendency to do harder surfaced like kind of creature work where it's like either scale-based or rock-based or things like that. So it's kind of one of those things, if you're an artist, you kind of find yourself, you have a certain look that you kind of typically do, and that's kind of my usual thing, but we'll see how much I can break out of that to kind of challenge myself. This is that program I was going to tell you about real quick. It's called Scribbler 2. You can find it at zefrank.com/scribbler/scribbler2. TOO. And what it does is basically you draw a line with your pen here, and it will connect with these interlaced kind of lines. So the more you go over it, the more it just kind of fills out. I don't know if anybody has seen this or uses this, but I really have taken a liking to it in the last year or two. I'm just kind of doodling right now, just kind of random lines, and sometimes that's how I come up with my best stuff. But if I don't like it, I'll just clear it out and start a new one. And so there's all sorts of brush settings here. You can change the radius, you can change how many connections are happening, all kinds of stuff, fuzziness, curviness. I usually work with a little bit smaller brush. And there's also canvas settings where you can change the width and the height, and you can also bring in images, and you can change the colors of your pen. You can even do an undo. You can save out images as well. So if I wanted to save this guy out, I hit save, and then I would type in .png here because otherwise it won't work. So just a quick little thing there. It only does one undo at a time. It doesn't stack the undo. So if you wanted to undo, you can hit Control Z or this button, but you can only do it once. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, Scribbler 2, very cool, and that's how I kind of came up with some of my thumbnails and my doodles, because it's so quick, just to make quick ideas, get them down, and you kind of draw just a bunch of messy lines. You can find something inside of there that may inspire you for your next little doodle. And I try to fill up the page to get some stuff going. So there you go. I don't want to make this all about Scribbler, so goodbye. And here's their glorious ZBrush. 4R2 is what I'm using. And I think 4R2B is coming out very soon, but I don't necessarily think I'll be using any of the newest features in this particular creature. It's just a sculpting deal with some quick paint. So to start off, I will get everything kind of set up here. I've got all my brushes down here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and load just a quick sphere. Make it a poly mesh, drag it onto the canvas, hit T, change out the material. It's usually my usual kind of startup, especially if I'm just doodling, if I'm going to be just kind of creating a character from scratch. Just create a sphere, make a poly mesh, drop it on here, hit T, ready to go. And then I'll go to symmetry mode as well, just to make things a little bit faster. So like I said, I also got all these brushes down here at the very bottom. I've got my usual standard ones just preloaded. Standard, inflate, clay buildup, clay, form brush, dam standard, S polish, H polish, trim dynamic, pinch, and then I also have some of the newer brushes like the curve, trifill, slice curve, insert cylinder, and then just some extra ones, morph and Z project, or ones I just kind of keep up here just in case. And then I have 3 different smoothing brushes: smooth stronger, smooth directional, and smooth. And I drug the smooth directional and smooth stronger from the library of brushes that ZBrush comes with. I just stored them into the startup brushes folder. And I have all my masking brushes down here at the bottom as well, so I can quickly change my masking modes. I got 3 different kinds of moves. Normally I go to snake hook as well when I'm working in Dynamesh and creating new characters with Dynamesh, which will be going here soon, and some clip curves and rectangles and all kinds of doodads. And I usually have the lazy mask down here so I can change out the radius, and I have the back face mask stored in here. Just some quick stuff that that I kind of go to a lot, subtool master, things like that. So everything else is pretty much standard, as you can see. So that's my usual rollout here. So let's go ahead and get started on our creature.